Dun, 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 dun.
Well, this sounds like a very strong drama film, not just by the synopsis, which we'll get to in a minute, but by this awards run that it went on, which if you look at the IMDb release date window, I'll pull it up on screen, of course, you guys can see it as well. It has an extensive amount of coverage at different award shows. Maybe we're talking about the Cannes Film Festival, Arab Film Festival, and from there all the way to the Seattle International Film Festival. This film's been making the rounds for a long time. Now, granted, it's been out for a while. Well, I don't know if it's got a big distribution yet. I would assume it did. Yeah, guys. Okay, I'm guessing in 2019. I'm covering the slate. It's been on the list for some time. I've been meaning to get to it as much as I have many other films out there that I haven't got a chance to take a look at yet. But I'm finally getting a chance to look at it today. Yomeddine. Again, as I said, this sounds like a very strong, not only a very strong awards film, which it got several credits for, as you can see from the poster. Lots of praise-worthy reviews. But again, a very strong synopsis to boot. And you'll see what I mean. We're going to look at this from IMDb. This is what they say about it. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Coptic leper and his orphaned apprentice leave the confines of the leper colony for the first time and embark on a journey across Egypt to search for what is left of their families. So as I was saying, a very sentimental drama when you look at that synopsis. Again, it's one that I would definitely say you can be sympathetic towards. I mean, I've never traveled around the world outside of the U.S. I've kind of just stayed in the confines of about 3 states for the most part. But I've heard about leprosy. I've heard about what that can do to a person. I'm certainly aware of, seeing pictures and stuff, and it's a very, very damaging ailment. And I know there's certainly, I'm sure, an amount, well, of course, I'm coming at this, I'm a Christian myself. I've, never shied away from saying that. Bibles talk about, there's plenty of stories in the Bible about leprosy. And I think it was in the New Testament as well. That it was seen as a very contagious disease. I believe it is, but I've seen photographic evidence. And it looks like people who struggle with leprosy have a really hard time in the world. But for other people, there is a bit of a stigma, and I've heard about this with leprosy being attached it's a very contagious disease. With people in communities where at least leaving the confines of a leper colony, as this film is showcasing for this individual. Leaving that space, it might make a couple people wince away in terms of, I don't want to catch anything. But maybe the same to the person who's been victimized with leprosy. I can imagine that there would be some nervousness about venturing out in the world. You'd be scared, I don't want to get anybody sick. I don't want anyone to catch what I've got. But this is a very beautiful journey that I would say definitely... not only the family vibe between the leper and this its orphaned apprentice, as they say, but going around the world and seeing maybe who else is out there that I can relate to, or who else is in my family that I haven't seen maybe in a long time, to make those connections. I think we're going to see something very interesting here. You tend to see that with a lot of independent and awards films. This is personally, I love covering them on this channel. I tend to find them a little more significant than a lot of the commercial films, because you watch those, I'll still cover commercial films by all means, but you'll watch them and you're like, okay, well that was fun, and you keep in mind that experience, but you actually get a window into other people's experiences for these types of films. That's why I love watching them, and really none of these films get that much credit, especially on YouTube, which is why, again, I love showcasing films that no one talks about. So let's take a look at Yomeddine. I hope I'm pronouncing that one too. Again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing anything. Of course, for those of you who've been able to see it, because I'm covering this late, feel free to let me know what you think down below. I'm sure, you've certainly had time to ponder the film. Please, no spoilers, but I get to watch it for myself today. So maybe now I get to take part in your enjoyment of the film, if that is the case with you. So let's take a look at this seemingly very sophisticated movie. We're actually going to watch we're going to watch a trailer, and then in another video we're going to watch a clip. So we're going to watch this first, and we're going to talk about it more in my condensed review segment plus watching the video. Yeah, we're going to start with the trailer. Here we go.
كده من امتى؟ وانا عيل صغير.
And they're in Egypt, right? Or they're going to cross Egypt.
عايز اشوف الملف بتاعي.
حالك من حال المستعمرة. كل الناس هنا ما تعرفش مين اهلها.
افرض لك انت اهل. هتسافر ازاي؟ لا بتعرف تركب عربية ولا بتعرف تركب قطر.
انت نسيتنا ولا ايه؟ يلا نروح ندور على اهلك.
The very touching movie.
هتمشي في الجنوب لحد ما توصل لهنا.
I can imagine somebody traveling within these confines.
ايه ده؟
عشان الناس ما تبصش عليك وما تخافش منه. مش هي جاي اشوف ابوه خايف. النيل اهو، بص النيل.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful presentation.
انت قلت ما بيعديش صح؟
لا
Oh, it isn't? I thought it was. I'm sorry.
الواد ده
I'm
مش
sorry
هنا.
about that. I thought it
انت مش
was.
راضي تسيبني وانا ماشي.
It's totally my bad. I guess I should have researched that a bit more.
اداني المستعمره وقال لي هرجع لك وما رجعليش.
دي الاهرامات ولا ايه؟
ما اعرفش
مش هما 3 ولا 2 فين؟
ما اعرفش.
That was totally. I feel really bad saying that earlier. That was totally my bad. I did not realize it wasn't a contagious disease. I'm really sorry about that. I guess what this film is trying to do, then, keeping that, actually letting that soak in a bit. I think they're trying to help people like me, understand. I've seen films like this before as well. Putting us into a position in a society where we become more accustomed to seeing different things, getting used to it. Because I would definitely say, I would say there's a bit of a stigma, from what I understand, about being around somebody that has leprosy. Again, I can't speak specifically to the merits. Again, I don't know too much of the research that well, specifically to that condition. But I would imagine, again, that some people have a tendency to wince away. Maybe this film is trying to help people understand what that's... Well, I believe that. What going through life with leprosy looks like. And not just what it looks like, but what it feels like as well. And you're getting that with this adult and his orphaned... He said orphaned son, right? Let me make sure. There's orphaned apprentice. It looks very good. Again, very touching, very sad in parts to see, kind of the perspective from the leper, and what he's saying, like that. I forget the exact quote, but there was a where'd it go? I just lost it. There's the scene where he puts on the hat or whatever. I would assume that's what they call her. But he says, "What is this? So people aren't afraid of you." Oh, that's really sad. And he can't travel by. I think they said you can't travel by a car. You can't ride a car nor a train. Why wouldn't you be able to ride in a car? Or maybe because maybe he wouldn't be the one driving. But that's really sad. So he has to go about the harder journey and trying to find his family. That looks very inspirational. Again, a very somber, bleak start to the film, as it should be. As it should be. Most of it, like character journeys, go this way, for especially with award films. If you want people that in larger society to understand what experiences are like to people, not just how they look, but how they feel, you have to really explore that. It means sometimes you have to really dig down before you can get to that happy ending. I'm sure there will be a happy ending to this. That's really... It's a very sophisticated movie. I can see why it got such prestige at the awards based on that trailer. And again, as I said, we'll be looking at a clip in the next video for the film as well. That looked actually really good. And again, as I said, I'm really sorry I misunderstood. Again, I haven't researched into leprosy extensively, so I didn't know. That was my own ignorance on my part, and I apologize for that. I'm glad that this trailer corrected my knowledge. I will remember that for the future reference if there ever happens to be a case of that. But it looks like a very sentimental awards film. Certainly something that we can all, I think, experience and really try to understand, what that experience is like for a lot of people. I'm totally behind it. Maybe one day I'll be able to see it. I don't know if it's available yet on the mass market, but I'll see. I'll see if I can find a copy of it to watch for myself. But what do you guys think about that? For those of you who have not been able to see Yomeddine for the first time, or Yomeddine, let me know down below. Don't forget to like, stuff, like, subscribe, and that bell. As I said, we'll be covering a clip for this in the future. But whatever film we get to watch again next, whether it's this film or another awards film or whatever film we get to see, I will see you guys at that point. But until then, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Love yourselves, your fellow man. God bless and peace.